What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Tonight, what's left of the San Antonio Spurs will face against a fully locked and loaded, full-strength Phoenix Suns roster. So, it is what it is. The season's winding down. We have a few games left. We have 3 more after tonight. I was like, you know what? I want to see my guys play. I want to hang out with you guys. And then the season will be a wrap. Right now, we are the 3rd worst team in the NBA, and barring another win by the Houston Rockets, I think that's where we're going to finish. So, a top 3 draft pick, hopefully, and some development for the guys this year. You know, getting to see players like Mamu play, Dominic Barlow, Julian Champagny. It's, you know, kind of probably have to do a video on them in the future, but, you know, kind of scratch your head, makes you go, okay, do these guys, can they be part of the Spurs foundation moving forward? Or about the current guys? Kelvin Johnson, Dan Vassell, are they the guys long term? I don't know. Anyway, I hope for a competitive game tonight, but it's going to be rough when you look at what's over there on the Phoenix Suns side. When you got Book, and you got Chris Paul, KD, and over on our side, we're starting guys that would be backups for most teams. But whatever, go Spurs, go Spurs, go. Either way, let's have a little some hellos to everybody tonight. Good evening, J Money. Smash that thumbs up, spur of the moment. It's your boy Rico, Jared. I just got done watching the Yankees. I can watch some games this year. Turns out Amazon Prime is showing like 20 Yankees games, and I watched a very lackluster performance by the Yankees offense tonight, and that's all I'm going to say on that. With the loss of the Cavs, the Orlando Magic are eliminated from NBA playoff contention. I didn't know they were still in NBA playoff contention. I thought they had already been knocked out previously, but I guess they weren't. Feels like they've been knocked out for a while. I mean, I can relate to that. Spurs have been knocked out for quite some time. Hey, Gimenez, good evening to you. Would you consider this a rivalry or not? Not really. I mean, I don't really feel anything towards the Suns. I don't have any animosity. No. You know, I think rivalries, the Rockets and Mavs come to mind just because of them being in Texas. The Lakers, because of what happened in the 2000s. The Heat, not so much anymore, but there was definitely some friction between the teams for quite a few years. But the Suns are 43-35. They are 4th in the Western Conference. How about the Spurs Sunday? I didn't get to call a game, but I watched it. Beating the Sacramento Kings in overtime. Our guys were so excited with that win. I was like, man, I wish I called it, but I was still recovering from the flu. I am still actually recovering from the flu, but Sunday I was in no shape to talk for 2.5 hours. I would be hacking up a lung every like 10 minutes. I love Charles Bassey, but I would have rather given the 4. Well, Mamu could still get signed. Something I think I need to address as an off-season video, like who should we keep, who should we move on from? Guys that are not going to be under contract after the season, and I believe there's quite a few of them. Raptors and Bulls in play-in. The Magic were on a 6-game winning streak? Dang. No problem, Joe. All good. Listen, I stopped making content for a little while. When the Spurs were in the midst of their 16-game, was it 16? I think it was 16-game losing streak. I was trying some different things on YouTube, and it took a little time from the channel. And you know, it's good. Sometimes it's good to take time off. Sometimes you need it. You know, I'm not one of those folks that can just do it every single day, 24/7, 365. I just have too many hobbies to be able to do that. That was a great game versus the Kings. Jack's Query, good evening to you. By the way, you guys know the drill. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so. Fast, fun, free, nutritious, and delicious. It looks like that if you're not sure. And as always, if you ain't down with that, by the way. Sucker! As I was just reading your boy Rico's comment, Suns get all these players and still going to lose to the Warriors in the finals. Or, well, I guess Western Conference Finals. Anything can happen. The biggest, if anything can happen, well, there's been actually quite a few in my lifetime. I saw the Denver Nuggets, an 8th seed, upset the number 1 Seattle Supersonics, who were like a 60-win team back in the 90s. The Raptors, I'm sure nobody had them pegged to win the NBA Finals a few years ago with old number 2 leading the charge. But the Warriors got hit with some pretty devastating injuries at the end of the playoffs, and next thing you know, the Raptors have their first win of the championship. I mean, I'm a Giants fan. If anybody knows anything is possible in the playoffs more than anybody else right now, it's me as a Giants fan. The New York Giants weren't even supposed to make the playoffs, and they ended up playing the undefeated New England Patriots in Super Bowl 42 and beating the undefeated New England Patriots to win their third Super Bowl. So you just never know. I mean, the best team should win. That's a given. But you have those teams that get hot right at the right time and go on a run. NBA passes acting kind of wonky tonight. This is twice now. It's kicked me out and just kind of sent me. Maybe I'll switch streams. Maybe it's the Sun stream that's having a problem. So let's switch to the Spurs stream, which I'd rather listen to anyway. What do you think of the new rules so far in baseball? It was weird. Eric, I totally forgot about the new rules. And watching Yankees on Amazon Prime was the first time I had watched baseball this year, and I forgot the pitchers. So what's the rule? They have 15 seconds to throw the ball if there's nobody on base, and 20 seconds to throw the ball if they are on base. And then if they don't pitch in time, it's automatically a ball. That's what I was getting from the rules tonight. There might be other rules, and I'm just drawing a blank on them. But that was... It felt like they kept the game going at a nice clip. The game lasted less than 3 hours. That's good. I don't like baseball games that last 4 hours or more. At that point, I lose interest. Don't like the pitch timer. I get why they have it. My only concern with the pitch timer is if it causes a pitcher to rush, which maybe I'm sure it's going to rush some pitchers and just throws them off their natural rhythm, if you will, and then the hitter is getting an advantage just from that itself. So that wasn't crossing my mind during tonight's game. Like, are any of these, there wasn't a lot of offense in the game that I watched between the Yankees and Phillies, but still, it kind of made me think, is this affecting the pitchers in a way that's going to make them throw a bad pitch? Maybe. Andrew Wiggins back in Bay, but won't play tonight, though. Okie dokie. Spurs at Suns coming up next, and Spurs have 4 starters out tonight. Zach Collins out. Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan. Now Sohan and Devin Vassell have been out for a lengthy period of time and probably not playing again this season. But Keldon's been in and out and in and out of the lineups. Zach Collins been in and out, in and out. I feel like after Sunday's win, there's a lot of injuries to our guys right now. Selena Gomez never left. She was always right here. How many points will Champagne score tonight? I will say 9. Oh, that's right, the no shift. Yes, I forgot the no shift. I don't get that. That's such a... the shift was around since I was a kid. If you had a left-handed hitter up, you shifted this way. If you had a right-handed hitter up, you shifted the other way. It feels really weird that they're... I don't know what they're doing. I have to try to bring new fans in, speeding up the games, making the game less complex with some of those rules. What's the big bases? And big bases? I think, well, I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm going to keep it realistic. I saw the Spurs play the Suns in December, and they were down by 30 at half, and the game was never close. Now when you consider 4 of our 5 starters are out tonight going against the fully loaded Suns team, this could get ugly fast. I don't expect to be here till the end of the game, but if our young team surprises me and they make this competitive throughout the whole game, then I'll certainly be here and be very proud of them. But I don't feel good about the game, and because of this, I do think we'll see Jacques Landale in at some point tonight. The time runs out, it's a ball. If the player's not in the batter box and they start their stance, it's a ball. I'll have to watch more games. I feel like I saw that there were 20 games on. All right, the NBA app just keeps crashing on me. I don't know what's going on tonight. I'll just exit and go back in. This is it's crashing when it's leaving commercial break. This is the first time I've had a problem with it since... This is the first time I've had a problem with it this year. Since I've switched over to 720p for the NBA app only, it's been running great. But tonight, I've already been knocked out 3 times. Maybe the Suns do take us for granted. That could happen too. And AJ, if they do pull this one, I think that would shock the NBA world. I'm sure most people did not have the Spurs beating the Kings on Sunday. And they did win. So, any given Sunday rule applies. Always. Exactly. I hope we're not getting blown out by 50. That's one thing I really don't like to see is, and we've seen it a lot this year, the Spurs losing by 20 or more has happened more than on one occasion, and that's not fun if you're a fan. how much development are your guys going to get if they're playing in garbage time all the time? Maybe not too much, if any. For the Phoenix Suns, the starting lineup is Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Josh Okogie, am I saying that right? Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, you got 2 future Hall of Famers for sure, maybe another one. And for the Spurs, Trey Jones, Devontae Graham, Malachi Branham, KBD, and Sandro Mama. I'm just going to say Malu Kalashvili. Villi. I'll just call him Mama, of course, like everybody else does. Kind of a small lineup for the Spurs tonight, having Devontae Graham and Trey Jones out there. There's not going to be a lot of height. Well, let's see if the Spurs will surprise us. I hope so. At least keep it competitive. Maybe they'll do what they normally do, Spurs fans. They'll keep it competitive for the first 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter will come in, and the Spurs will forget how to play basketball. Phil, I'm lucky if I can get to that for the whole stream now. I appreciate it. I really would love to get a 50 thumbs up by the end of the 1st quarter, but these days are different than where we were a year ago with the Spurs losing at a high clip. The attendance for live streams unfortunately has dropped considerably. But you know what? What goes down must go back up. And when the Spurs get a high draft pick, maybe Victor Wembanyama, well, interest will be very big on the San Antonio Spurs again. Suns win the tip ball, and away we go. Feels weird seeing the Suns wear all blue, but that's it's today's NBA. Teams wearing colors that don't match anything. Nice ball went by the Suns, and we're going to have an early foul on the Spurs already as DeAndre Ayton gets fouled in the paint and looks like he's going on the line for 2, and that foul is going to be on Mamu. Scoot Henderson, maybe, Puerto Rico. Brandon Miller's been moving up despite the controversy, if you will, surrounding his name recently. But Scoot Henderson might be who you're talking about. There's another kid that just jumped up a lot. I forgot his name. And I don't have my power cable plugged in. Dang it. I'm going to have to do that in the next stoppage. Otherwise, my computer will shut off. 8 makes both free throws. Suns up 2-0. Free throws already. Joe, I don't know what's going to happen really into the draft until I know what number we're picking. Right now, we're supposed to pick 3rd, but I'm hoping we move up. Malachi Branham, pull-up jumper, swish. I got to turn this thing on now. Ugh. Oh, all right. Did not turn my power strip on. Ugh. And now I can see everything a lot better. Hello, Aquavision. I was like, why is everything so dark? Kevin Durant launches it. Swish. Kill the fish. Was that a 3? Yes, it was. Kevin Durant. Pretty, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Devontae Graham with the ball drives to the paint. Kicks it out. Branham open for 3. In and out burger. Mama with the putback. Good. 5-4. Yo to you, Jacob. Do you guys see a stat the Lakers have taken like hundreds of more free throws than like the next closest team? They're by far and away number 1 in the NBA in free throw attempts. So a little conspiracy theory with some fans that the NBA is trying to get the Lakers in the playoffs. Spurs get a fast break after Devontae Graham steal. He's going to get fouled down the other end in the paint. And we might have 2 free throws coming up. Miller did jump in front of him. I got to think the Spurs, if they are not able to get Wemby, that Scoot Henderson's next on the radar. Jacob, I'd like to see us take Victor Wembanyama. We would have to draft. Devontae Graham is at the line for 2. And in and out burger on the first one. That's a miss. I would like Wembanyama. Just the potential intrigues me. Yes, the injuries scare me with how tall and lanky he is. But man, if that dude can stay healthy, there's a possible franchise generational talent, and it would be on my team. And not only would it be on my team, helping my team win games, made the second free throw, but it would draw a lot of eyeballs to my channel too, which would be really cool. So it'd be a win-win in that regards. Suns with the ball. Kevin Durant will pass it out to Chris Paul. Chris Paul will get it around to Book. Book in the paint. Pull-up jumper. Good. Zachary, good evening, Suns fan. Thank you for stopping in. Monte with the jumper, no good. It is Suns ball. I don't even call Murray a superstar though. Kevin Durant down the other end misses the shot. Fouled. Going to the line for two. I like DeJounte Murray. An all-star, yes. A star, sure. A superstar. The Spurs have not had a superstar really since Kawhi Leonard left. No disrespect to DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan I do consider a star. He's an all-star as well. But as far as a superstar, to put him up there with like the LeBron Jameses and Steph Currys, those type of players, no, he's not at that level. He's the next level below, which is not a bad place to be either. They're taking Jason Primo, Josh's cousin. Oh, God. I'm not a fan of these Sun jerseys, Sal 77. When I think the Suns, I think orange, and just seeing this all blue is really throwing me off. Cavs in the second round, could happen. They're a big team. Just depends how they play in the playoffs. Missed the second free throw. Suns up 8-5, 9:52 to go. Trey Jones out in three-point land looking for a pick and roll. Nope, no pick, no roll. Instead dishes over to Mamu. 12 on the shot clock. Mamu turns the ball over. Intercepted by Devin Booker. Booker takes it down the court. Fast break. Layup. Good. And I think we're going to have a timeout by Pop. Yes, we are. Spurs already doubled up 10-5. We have a timeout. If we get Victor, I think the Spurs will know how to keep him healthy. Remember when Tim Duncan came to the league, he injured his knee? It's fair. Kings beat the Pelicans 121-103. Jamal says, if the Pistons get the number one pick, do you think they're going to move any of their big men? The thing is, if I was the Pistons, I would be intrigued about having a modern day Twin Towers. My Twin Towers when I, back in the day was Tim Duncan and David Robinson. And if they draft Victor, he's not going to start at center. He's going to start at power forward, which would give you Victor and Duran, which would... I'm intrigued. I think they would. I don't know who your backups are, to be transparent, but I think they would probably keep. Did they get James Wiseman? So they would still run Wiseman and Duran at center, and then Victor at power forward. So I don't think they would move on from their guys. Suns 130, Spurs 110. I hope it's at least that close. AJ, that's what I'm imagining. Actually, Wiseman has been pretty good out there, hasn't he? Like, he kind of, with Golden State, but he's been very solid in Detroit. I remember looking up his stats a few days ago, and I was surprised. I'm like, dang, Wiseman's playing well. Sometimes it's just opportunity. Opportunity and maybe fit. What Golden State was doing, maybe James Wiseman just didn't fit in their type of offense. He's not a three-point shooter. Golden State likes to play small ball a lot, so... kind of makes you wonder why they drafted him. Maybe it was just the best player available type thing. But he clearly didn't fit there. And was injured too. Jose says, last time the Suns met was 2 months ago. Booker was out with injury. CP, Makai, Cam J, Ayton had been holding it down despite difficulties throughout the game. Suns won in OT 120-118. Yeah, as I say, wasn't it Duncan's in the fourth year? Third or fourth year, I believe. I heard David Robinson was asked to carry the load more. Maybe that is his fourth year. No, he didn't fit in the Warrior system at all. Suns won the whole thing. If they can stay healthy, I mean, that 1, 2, 3, 4 punch of Paul, Book, Durant, and Ayton. I don't know a lot about Okogie, to be honest with you. They ran out of gas last year. Chris Paul, if I remember in the playoffs, started off hot and then just gas tank emptied out near the end of the playoff run they had. I don't really trust any team right now. Out of all the NBA teams, there's really nobody that makes me that stands out to me and goes, that's definitely a team that's going to win it all. Spurs ball, and now an immediate whistle. 10-5. Veronica, how about your Dougie boy going off on Sunday? Probably one of the best games, if not the best games he's ever played as a San Antonio Spur. Good for him. James Harden has made more free throws than field goals in his career. Seriously? It's not saying much. What? Mamu for three. Nope. KD with the rebound. Chris Paul bringing up for the Suns. We got a little over 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. CP3 out in three-point land, guarded by Malachi Branham. Will get it into Book. Book guarded by the smaller Devontae Graham. Book looks to drive. Does drive. Back out to Paul for three. Oh, boy. I think that's the game I was at, Jose. The 133-95 debacle. That's not a fun game to watch. Spurs ball down by 8 with 8.5 minutes to go. Trey Jones going to drive in the paint, throws it up off the glass. No good. Devin Booker with the ball will bring it up the court for the Suns. They get it immediately to Ayton, and Ayton with the dunk. And then it's 15-5. Victor will skip. Is that an April Fool or something? Down the other end, Malachi Branham in the paint, throws it off the glass to stop the run by the Suns. It is 15-7. I'm happy for Josh from the Sports Fury. I don't remember which one that is, nor do I know why you're happy for him. Do you get married? Booker is fouled. I think there's another foul in Miami. That's when he's second foul. McDougie showed up in a few games, Phil. He's been okay. Dougie was hot fire, but I already knew. Good evening, Cowboy X Factor. You are up late tonight. I guess I am as well. 15-7. Oh my gosh, the Suns can go up by double. I just realized that they're about to go up double digits on us. His Book is at the line for two. Julian Champagny checking in for San Antonio. KBD checking in. I didn't even know KBD was in the game. Did he do anything? Dominic Barlow checking in as well. Booker with a second free throw, looking to make it 17-7, and he will. Oh, boy. If they do keep Doug McDermott, I would see if we could sign him for less than $13 million a year, especially now that he's north of 30. Branham drives in the paint, throws it high off the glass, no good. Dominic Barlow with the rebound, and we have another whistle. And I don't like what I'm seeing in this game so far, and that is one whistle after another. Josh is a Bears and Bulls fan. Sean's the other guy. Oh, okay. I can't remember. I know nothing. I think we'll see Jacques Landale tonight. Former San Antonio Spur legend for 1 year. Jones in the paint, runner good. It is 17-9. So all 77. This has been the roughest season for me as a Spurs content creator, which is why I've seen me stream left, and just it's hard for me to get motivated and make videos when the team was just losing a million in a row. And Chris Paul for three. The Suns are going to score 40 points this quarter the way they're going. Champagny for three down the other end. Good. Sohan the Destroyer song. Dude, I need to get back into the music. Smash that Phil. I do have a 40 weekend coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I plan on getting in there and start recording it because it's just been far too darn long. Spurs on a fast break. Branham with the kiss off the glass. It is 20-14. The Spurs have cut the lead to 6. Yeah, what happened to the Mavs? You guys are like, what, the 11th or 12th seed now? Cowboy X Factor? Weren't you like a top... I'm not trolling. Weren't you like a top 5 team not too long ago? KD with the pull-up jumper good, 22-14. Halfway through the first quarter, Branham with the ball again. Over to Trey Jones. Jones tries to squeeze in a bounce pass, and that's going to be a turnover. Devin Booker will bring it up for the Phoenix Suns. Book with the pull-up jumper in the paint, no good. DeAndre Ayton with the putback, that is good, 24-14. Yak would have been pretty good. Landale, Landale did have, what do you have, 1 or 2 concussions with us? He had the concussion, he had the C19, and a turnover by the Spurs. Champagny trying to go backdoor, the Spurs throw it away. And that is Suns ball. Suns get the ball at the court very quick, and they turn the ball over. A little too quick. 24-14, 5:40 to go. Trey Jones in the paint, throws up the layup. No good. Dominic Barlow with the rebound. Gets it to Malachi Branham. Branham into the paint, throws it up off the glass. No good. Spurs not get any kind of rim jobs from the rim at all. Suns ball. Chris Paul going to launch another three, and that is, jeez. Chris Paul is on fire right now. Can't win the clutch compare. Okay. Seth Smith 4, Ravens fan, Bucks fan, Yankees fan. Good evening. Jones into the paint. Some ball moved by the Spurs, and finally Julian Champagnie gets the ball in the paint, and looks like he tried to dunk it, but was a couple inches short and just kind of did a dunk layup. Suns ball. Book with the pull-up. Good. Wow. Booker and Chris Paul looking good. The whole Suns offense is looking good tonight. Granted, they're playing one of the worst defenses in the NBA in the San Antonio Spurs, so let's not get carried away. Suns shooting 77% from the field. Malachi Branham pull-up jumper off the rim, no good. Phoenix ball. Durant's going to drive in the paint. Fadeaway jumper, in and out and in. Were we just down by 6? Okie dokie. The Rockets beat the Nuggets? 124 to 103? Mom with the pull-up jumper, and we got a timeout. Good evening, Butterfly. Where's a firefighter? Put that man wet. Who? What? Losing Jalen Brunson. Kyrie Irving did not make your team better, in my opinion. I like Sean Marion. He's a former Phoenix Sun. They're going to get close to 50. Jamal Murray got injured, and Jokic first came back from injury. Okay. So, does anybody know this? Because I don't know this off the top of my head, so I need to test your knowledge, Spurs fans. If the San Antonio Spurs finish with the same exact record as the Houston Rockets, which is very possible, very plausible, do we finish as the 2nd seed when it comes to the lottery, or the 3rd? Because we'd had the same record, but I don't know who has the tiebreaker between the two teams. I think I've read we would finish ahead of them, but I don't know if that's factually correct. We will be the 2nd seed. Okay. I don't know if we're going to win another game. The Rockets do play the Hornets, who have been not so good this year, so do have a chance to win another game. It might be a moot point. I am happy right now that we won at least 20 games, so this current Spurs team won't be the worst of all time. It may be one of the worst of all time if we finish 20-62, because that would be the same record as the 96-97 Spurs, 20-62. No matter what happens the rest of the year, I hope we're just competitive in these last few games. Yeah, the NBA Pass is going to the dashboard every time there's a commercial. Luckily, when I hit play, it puts me right back in, but that's weird. You might beat us the last game of the season. They might try. Still 14%, Saul 77, but I'm pretty sure if we're the 3rd worst team, then the worst pick we can get is 7th. And then if we're the 2nd worst team, the worst pick we can get is 6th. So that would be the big difference for Spurs fans, is having the knowledge that we can't finish worse than that pick. Some people like that a little better. What's a like button? Zach, you trolling me? OKC 10, Mavs 11, Jazz 12. The Jazz were a top team in the Western Conference when the season started. Not anymore. They've made some moves and are not as good either. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate that. Hanover, they're not trying. They are running up the score. If you're a San Antonio Spurs fan, this is a rough first quarter. But to be honest with you guys, one of the reasons I called this game tonight is, one, I wanted to call one of the last Spurs games, but knowing how well we play against the Suns, or how well we don't play, should I say, I figured, you know what? I might be able to wrap this game up at midnight after 2 hours. We might be down a lot by then. I hope that's not the case. But historically speaking, recency, not historically, but recently speaking, the Suns have had our number. Speaking of which, it's Suns ball right now. Suns ball, and they're up by 13. Biggest lead was 15. Can't see us the ball for Phoenix right now. Man, I don't like these jerseys. I don't like the numbers are a little hard to read for me. I don't know. That Landry Shamet? It is. Throws it up, no good. Is it Landry Shamet? No. I heard him say Landry Shamet on the TV. I don't know who that was that just shot that. That's a miss for the Spurs. Suns ball. Like as a play-by-play YouTuber, jersey numbers that are easy to read is what I really need. And these are not easy to read. It's book with the runner in the paint. I know the starters, but as the Suns start to go to the bench, it's going to be a little rough for me. Champagny for three. Good. From the corner. 3 minutes to go. Thank you, Alex. Good to be back. Ron Martinez, good evening to you. Thank you for stopping in. Book, going to get fouled in the paint, and looks like he's going to go to the line for two. So nobody in the West wants the 5th seed. Why? Who's the 4th seed? Who do you have to play for the 5th seed? If Wemby goes to either the Pistons or the Rockets, I still think that he would be coached well there, like he would if Pop coached him. The Spurs jerseys are easy to read. Giant white lettering on black jersey, so that it sticks out. First free throw is good. Book is at the line for two. First one's good. Okay, that's true, Jose. I forgot about that. Lucas Samanic, 14 points and 4 rebounds. Is that what he did tonight, J Money? Lucas Samanic playing well back in the NBA for the first time in, 2 years? We knew the kid had some talent, just he didn't have to drive. Maybe the drive is finally there. Blake Leslie with the ball, not having a great rookie season. Has made a lot of mistakes when he's been out on the floor. Get the ball to Dougie McBuckets. Back to Wesley, back to Champagny with the pull-up jumper, and Julian Champagny. He got like 7 points already? Anyone have a shady stream? A shady stream. Never heard of that one. That's a miss. Spurs ball. I was looking away, so I didn't see who shot that. Sorry, my apologies. Devontae Graham pull-up jumper is no good. Fight for the board, and the Suns will come down with it. Landry with the three-pointer, no good. And the ball's going to go out of bounds, and it will stay with the Phoenix Suns. There's Landry Shamet. All right, I'm not losing my mind. Spurs are always bad for no reason. I mean, they're bad right now because they're rebuilding. Is it going by quick? About average. There's been 7 fouls called in the first quarter. I'd like to see a little less fouls, personally. I didn't promote anything shady. Did I? Torrey Craig for 3. And the Suns are going, barring something crazy happening, are going to eclipse 40 points in the first quarter. Spurs are one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. Doug McBuckets for 3. No good. Dougie McDermott can't make the 3. Ball will be knocked out of bounds by Champagny. And is this Spurs ball? No. Last time the Rockets won, we won. Lightning strike twice. Will San Antonio shock the world and beat the Phoenix Suns tonight? I'm not going to hold my breath. Anything's possible. It is Suns ball and a turnover. Spurs ball. More than a minute to go. Down 38-23. McDermott in the paint gets blocked. Putback is good. 38-25. Oh, okay. Got you, Cowboys Factor. Smell you're cooking. Suns ball 14 on the shot clock. Devin Booker going to launch a 3. Back iron no good. Suns get the ball back. And Greg to Bismack Biyombo. 40-25. And there's the 40 points, by the way. That's true, Jose. Things will be brighter again. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for the San Antonio Spurs. Blake Wesley gets rejected in the paint, something he's struggled with a lot this season. Fast break, and Booker goes right down the pike. Boom, shakalaka. Pardon. Sorry. Booker with a huge dunk in the paint. 42-25. Spurs down by 17 already in the first quarter. Almost a turnover. Gorgie Zhang gets the loose ball back out to Doug McDermott for 3. Nope. Front rim, no good. And the Suns can hold for the last shot. They will hold for the last shot. Book going to take a long 3. And that is going to be no good. That'll do it. Leon, good evening. I hope we draft Wemby. If they get the first overall pick and draft some dude I've never heard of, I will rage like I've never raged before on this channel. And I don't want to do that for the record. But if we have the first overall pick and I don't hear Victor Wembanyama or at least Scoot Henderson, yeah, I'm going to be angry. Now, I don't want to be angry draft night. I want to be excited for the future. Am I 17, man? Dang. Nets go to the playoffs without Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is terrible this season. No, Lucas, the NBA is the no defense league. It's a three-point shooting contest now. I've openly talked on the channel how disappointed I am with how the game has changed. I know some fans will argue, well, it's fun. It's, more scoring, da-da-da. I'm like, there's just no defense. I'm not looking for, the hand-check defense of the 90s or the Spurs when we were winning games scoring 78 points a game. I'm not necessarily looking for those days again, but I want to see some defense, less ticky-tack fouls, less flopping, just, Yeah. The Suns did not get to 50. That's a good point. Makes 3 rage videos about it. I guess we're due for a who pick because since I've started this channel, I've covered 4 drafts for the San Antonio Spurs. And the odd number years have been the who's. 2019, we drafted Lukas Samanic. Who? Lukas Samanic? I don't know who the hell he was. 2021, we drafted Joshua Primo. Who? I don't know who that is. It's 2023. Does that mean this is another year of who? Because that's been our track record. Odd number draft years, draft the guy nobody's heard of, or the guy that we're reaching on. Dude, if your team trades for Luka Doncic, or trades Luka Doncic, Cowboy X Factor, then I don't know what to tell you. He's only, 23 or 24? One of the best players in the NBA. Problem is his supporting cast. There would be riots in Dallas if you guys traded him away. Devolving, I would agree. Steph Curry contributed a lot to that. Give him all the credit in the world for being a great three-point shooter and changing the game, but I feel like he changed the game into a three-point chucking contest. I don't know how many games I've watched this year where I'll just see one team launch a 3, and then another team will run right back and launch a 3, and then right back again and launch a 3, and then right back and launch a 3. I'm like, this isn't basketball. This is just a three-point shootout. Not my preferred type of basketball. Defense still wins championships. Cowboy X Factor. See the NFL. It's all good, my man. Looking forward to the draft and your Spurs next year. Suns fan. Thanks, Calvin. Second quarter on the way. Gorgie Zhang with the ball. Gorgie Zhang taking the shot. Gorgie Zhang missing the shot. Phoenix ball. Timmy was drafted in 97. I believe David was drafted in 87. Didn't play until 89, but I think he was drafted in that year as well. We had a miss by the Suns to get the ball immediately back. CP3 out in three-point land. Gets it into KD. KD will kick it out for 3. That's a terrible shot. I believe that's Torrey Craig for 3, and that was oogly. McDermott for 3. No good. What? Katie nervous? I don't see why he would be. He's been in the league well over 10 years. He's a vet. I can't. Pressure to perform. Oh, mama. That was a huge dunk by Biz Marquis. You got what I need. You say he's just a friend. Oh, you. As I'm singing, Spurs miss, and Chris Paul hits a 3 down the other end, and we are getting shellacked. We're down by 22? Giannis would have triple-double tonight. Just throwing that out there. We're down by 22. Blake Leslie, crossover dribble, drives, baseline. Looks like he stepped out of bounds. Nobody called it. McDermott misses the layup, falls down. I had a feeling this would be rough. I didn't think it would be this rough. And another dunk. If Bismack Biyombo throws it down again, I'm going to get my clock correct, and the Spurs are almost doubled up on already. We are down 24. Karaoke session approved. They are giving us the biz, Anthony. We're getting knocked down. I don't know if we're going to get up again. Well, Phil, that's why I called this game tonight. I figured that we probably, based on what I've been seeing out of the starting lineup from Pop, I was like, all right, this is probably a game that will be over by the end of the third quarter. This game's going to be over before then if this keeps going like this. What's the Spurs' biggest loss of all time? By like 48? We just lost by 44 not too long ago to Boston Celtics. I'm not wishing for us to get blown out like that again. Right, it's your boy Rico? I was going to put him right here, and he's going to call the rest of the game. Right? There you go. By the way, I think I am going to call some of the NBA playoffs. I have not done that in a while. I was like, you know what? I want to do it. It helps grow the channel, bring some new people in. And if I call it, what I'd like to see is in the first round, the Boston Celtics versus the Atlanta Hawks. Then I can call Derek White versus DeJounte Murray. I don't know if they're seeded like that right now, but I would love to call that. That would be a lot of fun. But I'm going to pick a team to follow. I know I was talking to my man Beantown Breakdown, and he said follow the Celtics to follow Derek White. It feels weird following a Boston team, but I don't really have any animosity towards the Celtics. It's the Patriots and the Red Sox I can't stand. Celtics are just whatever. 135 to 88. Who do we lose that one to? Which one was that? I do remember that one. I can't remember who we lost to. That was rough. 76ers are good, man. My uncle's a 76ers fan. I don't know if they're good enough to go all the way. But I mean, who knows? I mean, Joel Embiid is on. If he's on and James Harden's playing his best basketball and not being a ball hog, then 76ers can hang with anybody. You know, I have seen, though, that Ginobili is blamed for some of the flopping in the league. You know, he brought in the Euro step, but I've also read that he brought in some flopping. I don't remember him flopping, to be honest with you guys, but I probably wasn't looking for it like when I see it now. Maybe a little less obvious when Manu was flopping, too. Somebody that was 6'4"-ish? And 210 pounds, maybe, as opposed to, say, a LeBron James, who's a tank. When you see him flop, it's very obvious. He's such a big guy. All right, Spurs ball. Malachi Branham going to drive. Almost lose the ball. Gorgie Jang will get the loose ball. 5 on the shot clock. Gorgie over to Devontae Graham. He's going to have to launch it, and he does, and makes the long 3. Quincy, good evening. Oh, nice troll comment, Quincy. I just woke up from a coma. Last thing I remember was my Spurs winning the 5th title and getting to the free agent to team up with Kawhi. So catch me up. How are we doing? Might just want to go back to sleep, bro. That's a turnover by the Nets. The Suns. Rodman was definitely floppy. Old Dennis Rodman. Probably LeBron, though, one of the biggest floppers today. I think it's because he's so big that when you see him resort to that, it stands out. Plus, when he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and you see him resorting to childish tactics, it stands out even more, in my humble opinion. Devontae Graham gets backdoor, throws it to the layup. The Spurs have cut the lead to 19. Almost another turnover for the Suns. We'll reset with Chris Paul. Chris Paul, pull-up jumper. Chris Paul's on fire tonight. I'm watching on the NBA Pass, Micah. I bought the NBA Pass, League Pass at the start of the season for like $100, so I've watched all the Spurs games on there. Not on local, though? Although, you know what? As a Yankees fan, I don't get the Yankees well, I'm in Connecticut, too. KBD's going to drive in the paint. Blows the layup! Come on, KBD. Kevin Durant, pull-up jumper, good after the three-point miss, and it's back to 23-point lead, 53-30. Busy is giving us the business. He's had a huge dunks in this game. Blake Lively drives in the paint, gets rejected again. I think he was rejected there. Either way, he missed. He's been struggling a lot in the paint. And Biz Marquis with another dunk. 55-30. I didn't watch the interview box, but I did catch some of that. Some of what he said. I try to ignore everything DeJounte says that now that he left. Whatever. Chris Paul, pull-up jumper is good, and the Spurs are down by 27. Good evening, Edgar. You know, it's a rough game, but... Sure. 57-30, 7 minutes to go in the first half. Devontae Graham out in three-point land. Gets it over to Blake Wesley. Wesley's going to drive. Pull-up jumper. Off the rim, no good. Poor kid can't buy a bucket. And a couple players go down. We have a 4-on-4. KBD finally back up the court. The Suns player that went down. Yep, okay, 5-on-5. Chris Paul, another long shot, no good. But the putback is good. Torrey Craig with the putback as he flew up the court and flew into the paint and got the bucket. Spurs 2 of 10 this quarter from the field. The Suns are 8 of 12. And now a trap, and that's a turnover for the Spurs, down 59-30. You know what? This is how I feel like the Suns are doing this to the Spurs right now. Again, punching us in the face. Katie 6 of 6, can't be too nervous. Yeah, the Spurs are playing in Austin twice. Well, the last 2 home games are in Austin. So there you go. The HEB Center, I think it's called. Chris Paul, pull-up jump. Jeez. Pull-up jumper is good. We down by 31. Cowboy X Factor, I don't think I'm going to call them the playing games. I think I'm going to follow a team or two, preferably the Eastern Conference, since I don't want to stay up this late every single night living on the East Coast. So I'll probably call the Celtics to start, and if they get eliminated, transition to the Bucks. And if they get eliminated, I'll find somebody. I'll follow somebody in the Eastern Conference. Jordan Champagne knocks the ball out of Kevin Durant's hand, goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Phoenix Suns. 8 on the shot clock. Divin, I'm going in there. Chuck Norris is getting better each time I see it. Pop's going to retire, and I'm taking over. TSR Sports will be the new head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. The Poon, good evening. With his usual McDormand. I think it wasn't a McDormand on Sunday when he threw down 30 points. Suns get the ball in, 4 on the shot clock. I'm just going to have to shoot. Ball's going to go out of bounds. And they're showing 0 on the shot clock. 61-30. That's not a typo. Struggle's real. I did not see the NCAA championship game. There's 0.2 seconds on the shot clock for Phoenix. Good luck there. Watch an alley-oop dunk or something. CP3 will get it in. Throws it at the rim. Bounces out the rim. I don't think you can do that. No, you can't. We can skip halftime stats. Yeah, there you go. 61-30. Here we go. Here's a little Selena for you guys. Maybe that'll cheer you up. She looks better than our play right now, I'll tell you that much. Mamu drives in the paint. Can't make the bucket. Gets fouled. Going to the line for 2. I'll go over the halftime stats, but man, it's not going to be pretty. What moves would I make? You know, I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to probably do a video on what moves we should make. Thank you to T-Sad. Either way, team. Thank you, team. There we go. First free throw is good, by the way, is 61-31. I mean, we only have a few games left in the season, so I want to call tonight's game, Thursday's game against the Blazers. Can't do Saturday's game. Missed the free throw. Spurs get the ball back. And then the last game of the year. I got to call the last game. KBD for 3. Spurs cut the lead to 27. The Suns are not going to score 100 before halftime, AJ. They might get to 75, though. It is Suns ball as we speak. An alley-oop, and DeAndre Ayton catches the ball, comes down with it, goes right back up, and he'll throw it down for 2 hands. A lot of dunks for the Suns tonight. No surprise, the Spurs have little to no interior defense. Trey Jones back in for San Antonio, out in three-point land, 11 on the shot clock. Got Ayton on him right now, mismatch. Drives, pull-up jumper, no good. Mama with the offensive rebound, kicks it out, three-point attempt. KBD with another 3. KBD, dang, 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 going to bring the Spurs back on his own. Maybe not. Andrew Shamet, we're getting into Ayton. Ayton in the paint. Gets the bucket, and that might be an and one. Yep. And one! Any players that want the Spurs to bring back next year? Yes. But, again, probably going to do a video on it. So I want to think about that. I mean, some of these young guys have been a nice surprise. Mamu, Julian Chapeni at times. Dominic Barlow, was not sold on him in the first half of the year, but he's shown some potential. I just kind of have to look at the roster, look who's under contract, who's not, and kind of figure out where I'd like to see the team to go and make a video. And then, of course, get your guys' thoughts on who you'd like to see come back. Three-point play is converted. 66-37 as Ayton makes the free throw. Don McDermott, ankle injury. Has anyone contacted me about sending you the memory book? No. I don't even know what that is, Veronica. But no, nobody's reached out to me about a memory book. Spurs ball. KBD for 3 again. That one's short. Dominic Barlow with the offensive board. Gets it back to KBD. KBD whips it out to Trey Jones. He'll take a 3. Well, I'm sorry to say, Veronica, but it looks like Dougie's out for the rest of the game. I'm sorry. He was having an issue with the ankle injury earlier this season. Must have re-aggravated it. 73-37. Wednesday fan appreciation night. That's a turnover by the Suns. The Spurs are coming back. Jones for 3 again. Nope. Barlow with the rebound, put back, and the Spurs are slowly coming back a little bit. It would suck if we play the full Spurs roster and we play 2 road games in Austin. Wait, if we play this full Spurs roster, what do you mean? I don't think we're going to see Devin Vassell again this year. I don't think we're going to see Jeremy Sohan again, which sucks for the fans in Austin if they're not going to play. But if they're hurt, they're hurt. If they're hurt, Kelvin maybe, Zach probably, but they're both on extreme load management right now. I don't know what big free agents are. We definitely have the cap space to sign somebody. Seeing the second game, he was great. That was a fun game to watch. I wish I called it. I was not physically able. You think he'll play Sohan? You think okay? I hope to see him again. Same thing with Devin Vassell. I mean, can we see our guys at least one more time before the season's over? One more, please. 66-42. Suns got us by 24, and what has been a mostly non-competitive game. Dougie needs to drink some milk ASAP. Wow, if he was a horse, he would have been shot by now. Ouch, Veronica. Brandon not impress you? I read he was impressed. Mel, I don't watch any of the NCAA college tournaments, so I can't say yay or nay on that. Bad pass is an awful movement that led to overtime in the last meeting. Mistakes always build up if you let it. Clean it up, boys. It's fair, Jose. And one thing you can't do if you're the Suns is just sleep on San Antonio. And what I mean by that is just look at them and be like, okay, this is one of the worst teams in the NBA. Just and then just put a half-butt effort in. Next thing you know, you let them right back in the game. Westbrook, Harden, Middleton, Porzingis, Kyrie. Oh, those are the big free agents? Well, I don't want Westbrook. No, thank you. I don't want James Harden. Chris Middleton, I think we need more than a player of his caliber. Staying away from Porzingis and staying very, very far away from Kyrie Irving. 8 of 41 in one of his games. He took 41 shots. Are you serious? I believe that's the case, Veronica. If a horse breaks their leg, then pew pew. And that's a wrap on the horsey. So I did watch a little of WrestleMania this weekend. My first time watching WrestleMania in years upon years. I watched it because I heard Shane McMahon got hurt, and sure enough, he tore his quad and or busted up his knee or something in the first 30 seconds of his match. And then Snoop Dogg did. Snoop was being Snoop. It was hilarious. And then I saw Brock Lesnar fight an NBA player or wrestle an NBA player. I don't know the dude's name. I just remember he was like 7'4" and he was huge, he was really tall. And that's about all that interested me. I skipped a lot of other stuff. I did watch Edge versus Demon Guy. I didn't really enjoy that, and they stopped the match because of a cut. What? I don't know. Trey Jones, ball in the paint, throws it up off the glass, no good. Gonna get fouled and go to the line for 2 shots. Good evening, Brian. Brock Lesnar. Last time I saw WrestleMania was during the vid. Oh, the vid, yep. I have Peacock, so I was looking for something to watch while I ate dinner, and I just watched a little here and there this week, but I have no interest to watch the main event, which was Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. I think that's right. Jones hits both free throws, 44-66. See, man, good evening to you. I believe the UFC bought the WWE. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm pretty sure I read that. And I'm sure they're going to stay 2 separate entities. Book with the ball right now. Passes it out. 3-point attempt. In and out. And Ayton with the follow-up, no good. Suns still with the ball. Shamet takes a shot, no good. Finally, the Spurs get the ball down by 22. Trey Jones sprints up the court. Drops it out to Champagnie for 3. No good. Long rebound goes to Trey Jones. And the Spurs turn the ball over. 2 minutes to go. 66-44. Nigel Shamet's going to drive baseline. And he kicks it out, and the Suns offense will reset with 10 on the shot clock. And we're going to have a foul. As Josh Okogie is fouled by the Spurs, we'll go to the line for 2. We don't get 1 minute draft. Maybe we go hard at Bobo. No, I don't think we'll go hard at Bobo. Jazz up 99-97 to the Lakers. No kidding. Beantown Breakdown. Good evening, my man. Look at me up late streaming tonight. Spurs playing the Suns, but the season is almost over. I wanted to call my guys. And, of course, they're getting killed again. First free throw is no good. Julian Champagnie is who you're thinking looks like Derek White. Because he's got the fro. So there's at times, depending on the angle, it may remind you of Derek White when, because Derek has, the crazy hair. I don't want to say crazy hair, but I guess it's crazy if it's flying through the air when they're running around. But Julian Champagnie, I think, is who you're thinking of, Veronica. Because when I first saw him play, I was like, Derek? No. Spurs ball down by 23. Trey Jones out in 3-point land, gets into the paint, runs right back out of the paint, kicks it out to Devontae Graham for 3, and that is no good. Fast break for the Suns, and the layup is no good. Spurs get the ball back. Trey Jones bringing up the court for San Antonio, out to Devontae Graham. Devontae Graham back to Trey Jones. Jones will reset the offense with 14 on the shot clock, and we're actually going to have a foul. Foul on Phoenix on Okogie. Just left Fenway. Oh, nice. Do you think Vince McMahon or Dana White will be either one's boss? I think Dana White's going to be the boss, and Vinnie Mac is done. If the WWE sold, then he's done. Sports streamer, you got a fever, and the only prescription's more cowbell? Trey Jones drives in the paint, throws the layup off the glass. Trey Jones really playing well in the last moments of the second quarter. Spurs down by 21. Chris Flew, I hope we get the first overall pick. I looked away. That was a miss for the Suns, and it is Spurs ball. Can cut this lead to under 20. Trey Jones out in three-point line over to Mamu. Mamu's going to take off, gets into the paint, stops, pops, ugly shot. That's whiffed. And a foul on the Phoenix Suns on DeAndre Ayton. Happy 21st birthday. So UFC does own the WWE. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want the two to cross over with one another. I suppose they will, but I don't want any staged stuff in the UFC, which I don't think they'll do, because that would they know their fans don't want that. But having Brock Lesnar show up at a UFC event would be kind of cool. He's never going to fight again, not at this age. Celebrate the small accomplishments. Under 20. Exactly 20 right now. KD on the bench for Phoenix. I said this a few moments ago. The Suns can't sit here and just kind of rest on their laurels and just say, okay, the Spurs are bad, and the last thing you want to do is let them back in the game, and they are letting them back in the game. Spurs playing a full court trap. Suns beat it. Well, maybe not. Yeah, they did. Book drives in the paint and throws in a dunk layup, if you will, and the Phoenix Suns just 69 the San Antonio Spurs. There's about 9 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Devontae Graham way out in three-point land as the Spurs trying to get to their anniversary number of 50. Graham's going to drive in the paint. Difficult layup, no good. Dominic Barlow with the follow-up, no good. Spurs get the ball back. Out to Malachi Branham. His follow-up three is good. 18-point game. Devin Booker doesn't get a shot off, and that's the end of the half. Spurs cut it down to 18. They're not rolling over. I mean, they're getting beat, but they're not rolling over. So that's something. Third quarter will be the, well, that'll be the definitive quarter, I suppose, where the Spurs, we'll find out if they're still in this game or Phoenix will just run away with it. We'll go ahead and pull up some halftime stats. Apologies for any coughing on stream. I had the flu last week and I'm not totally over it. Daniel Jones has 11 points and 4 rebounds, huh? I didn't know Daniel Jones was a basketball player. The only Daniel Jones I know is my quarterback for the New York Giants. All right, halftime stats. Let's go take a look. For the San Antonio Spurs, Mamu with 7, KBD with 6, Devontae Graham with 6, Trey Jones with 11, 4 and 4, so chance at another triple-double, and Malachi Branham with 9. Off the bench, Julian Champagnie with 10, Doug McDermott with 2, and then Dominic Barlow, Gorgie Zhang, and Blake Wesley, all with a donut. That's 0. Nothing. For the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant with 10, Okogie with 1. He's got 1 point. Okie dokie. DeAndre Ayton with 11. Chris Paul leads all scorers with 18 on 7 of 8 shooting. He's on fire right now. Only 1 assist. He's just scoring at will. And Devin Booker with 16 off the bench for the Phoenix Suns. Torrey Craig with 5. TJ Warren with nothing. Landry Shamet with nothing. Terrence Ross with nothing. And Bismack Biyombo with 8. You guys were asking about Jock Landale. He has not played yet. I don't know if and when we will see him. So, depends if the Suns keep blowing out the Spurs. Then they could play him later in the second half, I suppose. But right now, no need to bring him out. Luka Samanic, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Sandwich was unleashed tonight. You know, if he works out in the NBA and makes a career out of it, then good for him, because the Spurs wrote him off, appropriately so. He was not good here. He gave up on a play, so the team said, see ya. Take a hike. And then he was signed by the Knicks, the Celtics, never played an NBA game with either team, and it seems to have found a second life with the Jazz. Maybe he's taking things more seriously now. This has been the story all season. Down by double digits after the first half. That has been our own personal pandemic. Brighter things are coming. Brighter times are coming for the San Antonio Spurs. 7 minutes to go, Lakers and the Jazz. Okay. Go Jazz. You guys know I have no love for the Lakers. Former Phoenix Sun great Tom Chambers in the the halftime report booth, if you will. I forgot who he did it against, but Tom Chambers did destroy somebody with a huge flying dunk, which ended up being his dunk in the video game. I want to say Lakers versus Celtics, or maybe Bulls versus Lakers. But that flying dunk was definitely in the game, and I don't remember who he did it with, but Tom Chambers had a huge in-game dunk against somebody. They're saying the Phoenix Suns had 42 points in the first quarter, so only 27 in the second quarter, slowed down considerably. But the 42 points in the first Q was a season high for the Phoenix Suns. THT's on fire again. He dropped like 41 against the Spurs last week. Now he's killing the Lakers. He's got something to prove. Well, that's his former team, so I mean, definitely has something to prove. So there is that. Do I have anything fun I can put up? Yeah, we'll just put this up, the usual. Jose, I watched 3 matches from WrestleMania. I watched Brock Lesnar versus an NBA player. That was okay, I suppose. I mainly tuned in to check out what happened to Shane O'Mac, and I watched the match, if you will, against him and The Miz. I'm not sure I can call that a match. He was hurt within the first 30 seconds. And then I did watch Edge versus Finn Balor. Wasn't a big fan of that. Edge looks good for his age and for being gone because of an injury and coming back. I'll give him credit. But I just couldn't really get into the match. And then it was very awkward when I think Finn Balor was cut incidentally, not an intentional cut. But he took a ladder to the head. And as soon as he was cut, they paused the match and the medical team came out. I don't know if they were doing something to close the wound, but they would not show Finn Balor while it was bleeding. And I was like, seriously? Yes, you show blood all the time. Now you can't show any? Whatever. It threw me off, though. If the Spurs play games in Austin next season, I think they'll move up. No, they're not going anywhere. I don't think so. I believe they're under contract with the city of San Antonio, too, for quite a few more years, so I don't see them moving. They have a missing an extra. Jacques been missing. Okay. Thanks, man, Jose. Next year's starting lineup is going to be Victor, Jeremy, KJ, Devin, and Scoot. How are the Spurs getting Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson? Are they trading up a lot of draft capital to get 2 picks in this draft? I like the Spurs in San Antonio. I live in Austin. It's not a bad drive down there. San Antonio needs their team. They're staying. Anthony, I think they're staying in San Antonio. There was a lot of speculation over the last few years here and there with the Spurs playing poorly that they might get moved. I just don't see it happening. Not anytime soon, at least. I don't like it now so much. They lack W superstars, which is why my Roman Reigns is seen as the greatest. I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. If you like, anybody in the chat likes him, hey, so be it. Personally, I'm just not a fan. The thing I probably liked most about him was when he got into an angry semi-shoot promo with John Cena 4, 5, 6 years ago, whenever it was, where they were doing a little one-on-one in the ring, and you could tell that somebody crossed the line somewhere, and then it got a little heated. That's what it's, yeah, they're building a new facility, too. Don't like him either. Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Could never get. I tried to make him the next big thing, and Fans obviously pushed back on it, and folks like myself just were never interested. And the fact that he's one of the guys, one of the two guys to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, no thanks. Not a fan of that at all. OKC 79-69, Warriors halftime. Dang. 79-69, that is a high-scoring game. They're not playing any defense in that game. Not that there's a lot of defense in this game, but 79-69? I don't. What is up with Golden State this year? They suck away, like on the road. Like they can't win on the road. They win everything at home for the most part, but on the road they just are a train wreck. Never seen anything like it. And they're the defending champions. You think they'd be good on the road? They're not at all. I think the halftime is the halftime. I think the second half should be starting any minute now. The only time I was watching WD or Ross was when I was in. So for me, watching the WWE, I watched the WWF from 84 to 91, from 96 to 2000. There may have been sporadic viewing, many years I don't mention that. I came back in 2002 because of Hogan and the NWO coming back. I watched from 2002 to 2005. I kind of quit, and I briefly came back for Goldberg in 2016. I was a casual fan watching just pay-per-views in 2017 and 18, but I really wasn't into it and stopped in early 2019. So that era, some of what I tried doing for this sports channel, this channel in 2019, but I just couldn't get into it. So I was definitely a casual fan, just watching the pay-per-views with my buddy who had the WWE. I guess then it was called the WWE Network. I don't know if it's still called that. Is it? No, they haven't had the WWE Network anymore. It's on Peacock. I don't know what I'm talking about. Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Man, their first match at WrestleMania 20, a stinker for the ages. That match sucked. Late 90s, the Attitude Era, WCW versus WWF. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that where you get two shows, each drawing in 4 to 5, maybe more, million viewers on Monday night while going against the other wrestling promotion. It was a very special time with the NWO over in the WCW. And you had D-Generation X, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock coming up over in the WWE, whatever. It was just a magical time if you're a wrestling fan, and I don't think that level of viewership will ever be achieved again. Good evening, David. Go Spurs. You know what? I'll throw one out for y'all. I don't think we've had a dunk tonight, though, so I haven't been able to do the Thunder Dunk of Justice yet. A little disappointing. Where's my quarter thing going? I just moved my quarter thing around. What's happening here? All right, there we go. You know what? Speaking of the WWE... Sucker! Why not? 69. 69! That's why I'm not in the music studio singing yet, because I can't. 69! I had a flashback to when I was pretending I was, New York Giants backup quarterback. I was Jake Fromm. I made a video picking on him. And I was using a cadence of just 69 over and over and over again. The good old days. Not that long ago, but I'll pretend like it was. Going back to commercial break again, which tends to make me think after this commercial break, hopefully finally we'll be back to the game and third quarter will have started for the San Antonio Spurs versus the Phoenix Suns. Ah, yes. Spurs versus the Suns. You smell what I'm cooking.
Hey. I don't know what you're cooking, Croc. Smells like... But I think I'll have some anyway.
Mizark Henry. Anybody remember Mizark? No? Okay. We should get Boban back. Boban's got a cute lady. I think I saw a picture of him with her not too long ago. I was like, wow. Look at you. Good for you. I don't think he's coming back to the Spurs. Mizark. Mark Henry, Mizark Henry. What everybody wants to know is, how do you get your pecs to go all the way around to your back? What the brother wants to know is it Belo Brown? Oh, that was a great skit, man. I remember dying during that one when Degeneration X impersonated the Nation of Domination. Well, it did sound like Fat Albert. I think that's what they were going for.
Hey.
Man, I think that I loved wrestling back in the 90s. It was also aimed at my demographic. If you were a male teenager in the 90s, it was aimed right at you. It was raunchy, it was dirty, it was violent. There was a lot of butts and boobs of women. In fact, they even had nudity here and there. Those girls were taking their clothes off on occasion during pay-per-views. Not often, but there was a few times there was a flash of stuff, which you would not get away with in today's WWE. The Hell in the Cell matches, Taker and Mankind. The Attitude Era was great. Won't see anything like that again. Less than 20, yay. Yes, Veronica, 18. 18. Almost there. Mailman on a prayer. My dog. Doggy dog. Bow wow wow. Yippee yo yippee yay. I saw The Undertaker's debut. Not live, but on TV live. It was Survivor Series 1990. November 1990. The Undertaker made his first appearance, as did the Gobbledygooker. Yeah. If you know, you know. The Gobbledygooker. Even as a kid watching that, I was not down with that character. Hornswoggle, wow. Good evening, Benjamin. It is a rate well. I've read, you guys were saying in the chat earlier that if we have the same record as the Rockets at the season end, we'll actually finish ahead of them. The Gobbledygooker from Parts Unknown. There was a big giant egg at Survivor Series 1990, and we didn't know it was going to hatch from the egg. There was no internet back then, so everything was a surprise. And this big giant turkey hatched, and he said his name was the Gobbledygooker, and then he got in the ring and danced with Mean Gene Okerlund. Can't make this stuff up. Not a bright spot in the night. At all. He hatched from an egg. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'm not making this stuff up. Gotta keep it real with you guys. I don't make stuff up. What's the less of a beating? The game tonight? 5 minutes till Al McCoy's son's broadcasting last home game covered. Oh, wow. Last home game for the Suns. Yes, egg before the chicken. Or a turkey. This was a turkey because it was Thanksgiving. So this was a giant turkey. Oh my gosh, let's see if I can get a picture and put him up here on screen. Gobbledygooker. I don't even know how to spell it. Oh my gosh. All right, there's a picture of him hatching from his egg. God. I'm about to get a picture up here of the Gobbledygooker for you guys. Add image. This is about to happen. There's the Gobbledygooker. There he is. Hatching from his egg. Survivor Series 1990. Yep. Was not making it up. Anyway, Suns ball to start off the second half. I'm guessing the Spurs turned over when I wasn't looking. Durant corner three, good. And the lead is back up to 21. Are the League Pass commentators that bad, really? Yes, Veronica's career started and ended on Thanksgiving. I missed the bucket by the Spurs at 72-53. Was it Hector Guerrero that was the Gobbledygooker? David, some people don't like Sowen at the point as a point forward. I'm not thrilled either, but you know what? Whatever. DeAndre Ayton pull-up jumper in the paint, no good. Mama with the rebound. 72-53, 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Tre Jones over to Devontae Graham. Graham has had a very quiet night so far. Back to Jones, 10 on the shot clock. Jones guarded by CP3 will get it over to Brandon for three. Off the front of the rim, no good. DeAndre Ayton with the rebound. And it's Suns ball. Book on the run for the Phoenix Suns. Going to pull up for three. Swish. Suns coming out. Foot on the line. Foot on the line. They took away the three and they gave him a two. Jimmy Buckets with 27, 8, and 8 for the Heat tonight. Jones into the paint by John Drayton and gets the layup. And Blake Wesley needs to learn that from Tre Jones. Jones is not a tall guy, but he uses his body in a way that blocks his defender, and he's able to get it up off the glass for a layup. Whereas Blake Wesley, a lot of times when he's going for those shots, he's getting rejected in the paint. Spurs turnover, fast break, and the Spurs turn the ball over themselves as they throw it a little too far out in front of Tre Jones, and the ball's going to go into the stands. There is a Doink the Clown, but that is not Doink the Clown that I brought up. You're welcome, Jose. Yeah, this is definitely not Doink. This is the Gobbledygooker. Yeah. Remember when there was like multiple Doinks? DeAndre with the ball in the paint. One-on-one with Mamu. Turnaround jump hook. Good. 21-point lead still for the Suns. Tre Jones played, he had a triple-double on the Spurs winning in Sacramento. Jones plays well at times. I just don't know if I'm sold as him as our point guard for the next decade. I hope he proves me wrong. Jones, pull-up jumper in the paint, good. I mean, I'm not rooting against him. I'm rooting for all Spurs players. It is Suns ball up by 19, and we're going to have a foul on San Antonio's. Book was driving into the paint, and he may go to the line for two. Fouls on Devontae Graham. There were a lot of doinks running around. There was like a little doink and a big doink, a medium doink, mini doink. There was at least two doinks. I think there was full-size doink and then miniature doink. I don't know what you're supposed to call vertically challenged people. I don't know. Everybody's so weird about stuff today. I'm like, what do we call them? I don't know. I guess I'll just call them miniature. Wait, now they put a point back on board for the Suns. They give him a three-pointer in that shot earlier? 78-57. I don't know what that happened. That free throw's good as well. Is he living in an Amish paradise, though, Rob? Is he spending half his life there? Defense chance out in Phoenix. Mamu for three. Mamu drains the three. Switch, kill the fish. 79-60. Spurs just hanging around by 19. Spurs 8 of 25 from three-point land. The Suns are 8 of 19. That is going to equate to a better percentage, obviously. Kevin Durant loses the ball out of bounds. Spurs ball. He called Keita Bates-Diop Boris Diaw. What? What? Wow. I mean, if you're going to get a player whose name wrong, okay, but can you at least get him with somebody that's like on the roster? On the roster this decade? Don Barlow misses in the paint. It is going to be Phoenix ball. Drive, and Allen Iverson dishes it off to Dikembe Mutombo, and that is a foul, turnover by the Suns. Suns right where we want him. Tre Jones kicks it out to Boris Diaw for three. Ridiculous. Hey, Gunsparo, I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you for stopping in. Jones out to Devontae Graham. Graham for three. Good. Finally, Devontae hits a shot, and the Spurs have cut the lead to 16. Suns just letting him hang around. We go fast break to Durant down the other end. He misses the layup. It is Spurs ball. Tre Jones will bring it up for San Antonio 79-63. And Brandon for three. 13-point game, guys. Triples, Day Durant, triples of Durant. I mean, does he have a 3 tonight? I'm pretty sure he has a 3, doesn't he? Spurs are coming back. They're only down by 13. They were down by as much as 27. CP3 with an in-and-out burger. Ayton with the putback. He's going to get fouled. He's going to go to the line for 2. Fouled by Trey Jones. Spurs fighting hard tonight, and the Spurs are missing 4 starters. They're essentially running their G League team tonight. Their backups, and to their credit, they're fighting hard. Toby, Champagne's looks like he's got some ability. And with Barlow, Bassie, Mamu, we've, picked up interesting young talent this year. First free throw is good. KBD checking back in for San Antonio. I'll try to, Phil, I'll try to remember to do that, but I don't know if I will. Because after this game, I got to get to bed. I got to work at 7:15 tomorrow, or be ready to go at 7:15. Made them both. No, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's got to work tomorrow. Nalka Brandon will bring it up for San Antonio. Nalka has played the point at times this year for the Spurs. Drives in the paint. Out to KBD for 3. Spurs just 69 the Phoenix Suns. We down by 12. Spurs have a chance to cut this lead to single digits soon. Impressive. Most impressive. That 3-pointer is no good for Josh Okogie. Spurs ball. Telling you, this Phoenix Suns let off the gas, and now they're paying for it. Trey Jones wide open for 3. Pulls up for 3. It's good. That's a single-digit game. 9-point game. I know. I hate Cowboy X Factor, man, but the Spurs cut the lead down to 9. I can't go anywhere. We were down by like 27 at one point. The Spurs are fighting back tonight. Who would have thought? Not me. But the team is fighting. Let's go. I was right, David. This is what I want from the San Antonio Spurs the rest of the season. All 3 games remaining is no matter who they're playing, at least fight. And they're fighting tonight. They were getting blown out. Could have just rolled over and said, all right, we're down by 25. And just keep getting crushed. But they're fighting hard tonight. They have been doing this all year. You are correct, Hanover. Hanover Fists, they've had a lot of games they've come back on. They've had a lot of games they've got blown out on. They're very inconsistent. They're a very young team. And they've had different lineups, a different starting lineup every week. Every other game, I think we have had a different starting lineup all year. Yeah, spur of the moment. This is a blowout earlier. What were we down by and a half? Like 20-something? 21 or 22, I think we were down at halftime. Now I'm down by 9. I like what I'm seeing. No matter what happens. Keep fighting, Spurs. Keep on fighting. Just keep fighting. Just keep fighting. What the heck's going on here? My computer is showing it's not charging. Did I actually turn my... I gotta be right back. Maybe my thing's not plugged in. I don't know. I was looking at my battery's almost empty. I thought I fixed that earlier. Now it's charging. All right. What did I do wrong? TSR had all sorts of issues. What is it? Power cell tonight, if you will. I got it fixed. Battery's charging. I'm going to be okay. Yeah, everything's all right with me. Hope everything's all right with you. I got nothing left of that song. I just made that up. Coming back from the timeout, Spurs on a run in the third quarter. They are down now only by 9, 81-72 with 6:42 to go. Let's keep it going, Spurs fans. Getting a replay of some sort. Showing Booker. Shows some Booker highlights. I have the Phoenix Suns broadcast on. Not necessarily by choice, just what's working. How about a few Spurs highlights and then making the comeback? No? Okay, that's what I thought. Good. 81-72. Devin Booker going to drive into the paint. Layup, good. 83-72. A little over 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. KBD with the pull-up jumper gets knocked out of bounds. It'll stay Spurs ball. The fourth quarter is where I'm worried about. That's where we tend to fall off. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. And see if we end up just folding in the fourth quarter, which unfortunately, as you mentioned, we do quite often. Toby Barlow's been good at times. And he's still, I think, only 19. So there is that, too. He's very young. Jones throws it up off the glass and good over DeAndre Ayton. And that, again, using his body and positioning to keep the ball away from the bigger guy. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. Good evening to you. 83-74. KD pull-up jumper goes out of bounds. I think that was partially blocked. It is going to stay Spurs ball. Looking forward to the NBA playoffs, and just who I'm going to cover. Obviously not covering the Spurs. They were eliminated from the playoffs, but I want to cover somebody. It's going to be an East Coast team. I don't want to cover a Western Conference team because that means the games will be really late. Book with the ball to Ayton. Ayton in the paint. And gets it up and in. A little jumper over Dominic Barlow, we just mentioned. Spurs ball. Ayton with 17 points and 8 rebounds so far. Julian Champagnie over to KBD. KBD going to drive into the paint, throws it up, and it's an in-and-out burger for K to Bates D up. Book will bring it up for the Phoenix Suns. Book drives into the paint. May have been partially blocked. It is Spurs ball. Spurs trying to go fast break. And Kevin Durant with the block, and I believe that was Blake Wesley blocked again. Yep. That poor kid is just getting rejected every single game, multiple times. It's your boy Rigo. The Spurs had a big run in the third quarter. Good evening, Andrew. I'm doing well, thank you. Game has been up and down. We were down by 27 at one point, but we've cut the lead to 11. So the Spurs have been fighting tonight despite 4 starters being out. Jones pull-up jumper is no good. And a huge collision. Offensive foul as Trey Jones gets absolutely run over. Foul's going to be on Book. It's only his second, though. Crowd doesn't like it. Book doesn't like it. Whatever. Play on. Trey Jones out in three-point land. Gets it over to Gorgie Zhang. Gorgie. Back over to Trey Jones. Jones. Falls for Blake Wesley. Wesley down with the ball. Out in three-point lane guarded by DeAndre. And pull-up jumper. Nope. I don't think Blake Wesley's hit a shot tonight. I did not watch March Madness last night, Andrew. I did not. I don't even know who won. Kevin Durant pull-up jumper good. And the Suns are starting to bounce back here at the end of the third quarter. 87-74, 4 minutes to go. Trey Jones, pick and roll with Gorgie Zhang. Out to KBD, back to Zhang. We'll give and go with Julian Champagnie. Champagnie misses a jumper in the paint. And the Suns almost lose the ball out of bounds, but a nice save. And Chris Paul bringing up for Phoenix. They are up by 13, under 4 minutes to go. The Suns are crushing us. Paul was shooting the ball a lot in the first half. He's not been shooting a lot in the second half. Booker for 3, good. Well, it looks like the Suns are done sleeping on the Spurs as it's back to a 16-point lead. The Spurs did cut it to 9. Certainly far from over right now. And Jones with the turnover. Durant to Book. Booker back over to KD. Back to Chris Paul. Finally move the ball around, and Ain's going to miss a dunk in the paint, but he's going to get fouled and go to the line for 2. We're down by 9, and now right back up to 16. What are you going to do? Queen Jedi, good evening. What's going on, Last Jedi? How have you been? Our Spurs have been a yo-yo tonight as they were down 27, then down 9, and now down by 16. Just this game is all over the place. Aiden's first free throw, good. Couple substitutions. I don't know who one of those guys are. For the Phoenix Suns. All right, whatever. Aiden at the line for one more. 91-74. 91-74. Down by 17 again. Made it. 18-point game. Blake was bringing up forward San Antonio Spurs. So, in other words, nothing new. Yeah. Champagny for 3, no good. And the Spurs offense has gone cold in the last few minutes. Long 3 for the Suns, no good. Spurs ball. KBD for 3. Nothing going in for the Spurs now. Nothing. 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 There we go. Torrey Craig out in three-point line looking to get into Ayton. Instead, he's going to drive into the paint. Now get it to Ayton, and the ball's punched away by Mambo. It's going to roll out of bounds. It'll stay with the Suns. 5 seconds on the shot clock. And a timeout by the Spurs. Down by 18. In life, you got it. 18 in life, you know. Your crime is time. And it's 18 in life to go. Or something. I don't know. Man, I'm sick of coughing. Even today at work, trying to talk all day, I would just start getting to a coughing fit and could not stop coughing. So I had to mute my phone when I was working. It sucks. But it's part of being sick. It takes a while to fully recover. I did get some basketball in today. It was about 72 degrees here up in New England and Connecticut. It was beautiful out, and it was nice to shoot some hoop. We need another big run, like a 10-0 run minimum. Unfortunately, right now, the Phoenix Suns are on the run. Good first half, and the Fools are calling the second half, and the winner is 102-85. UConn won? Didn't watch it. I should pay attention to March Madness, especially for the college draft or for NBA draft purposes, but I just could never get into college sports at all, whether it's basketball, whether it's football. Just not a fan. Can't get into the XFL. A friend of mine's been tuning it up. I'm like, dude, I've already seen it fail twice, and most of the games aren't even on. They're all on like cable channels that I don't have, so I can't watch it if I wanted to. But I will need to get some sort of cable shortly. If I'm going to call any of the NBA playoffs, I'll have to get Sling again, which the first month is half off, so I guess that's not too bad. It'll be like $20, but I'll probably get Sling Orange again. And we have the lottery results next month, and then we have the NBA draft in June, which the lottery results are probably going to be more exciting than the draft, as you guys have said, as you have said in the channel, because that's a huge moment, finding out when we draft. Once we know our position, and if we're in the top 3, it's going to be pretty obvious who we're drafting. Regular season college hoops can be boring, but March Madness is fire! But you know, you could say that about a lot of sports. The regular season is kind of and then the playoffs are where it's at. By the way, Last Jedi, I didn't think I was going to be able to watch any Yankees games this year, except for when they're on Fox against like the Red Sox. Amazon Prime is showing like 20 Yankees games this year, so I got to watch them tonight. And it was a terrible game to watch, but it was still cool. I was like, all right, I do have access to the Yankees again, so I was pretty happy about that. Okay, college over the NBA. You're not alone. A lot of people prefer college over the pro leagues. I get it. Just showing some highlights. Devin Booker, 26 on the night, 10 in the third quarter. It is Suns ball, by the way, and they are up by 18. Book for 3 on the inbound pass, no good. And KBD's going to lose it out of bounds. Well, that's not what we're looking for. 14 on the shot clock. I'll get the ball into Book. Booker over to... Can't see who has that. I don't like this camera angle at all. Biz with a little jump hook, no good. And it is Spurs ball, and this camera angle is terrible. Instead of going east to west, it's more north-south. I don't like it. All right, now we're at the traditional camera angle. Mama over to KBD. KBD over to Gorgie Zhang. Gorgie Zhang. Fadeaway jumper is good. Gorgie Zhang. The big shot. Gorgie had like 15 points and 10 rebounds. I don't know if it was in the last Spurs game or the game before that. He had a huge contribution off the bench. Suns ball, three-point attempt, no good. You get the ball right back again. Book out in three-point land. Shaman with the offensive rebound previously, by the way. Book going to wheel it out for three. No good. I don't know. Number 13 is for... I have no idea who that is. Spurs ball. Mambo out three-point land. 10 on the shot clock. Whips it over to KBD for three. No good. And both teams exchanging misses. Lots and lots of misses. Book out to Shamit. Shamit going to pass it out. Finally find the open man in the paint. Is that Biz? Of course it is. Bismack Biombo. No, not Bismack Biombo. Torrey Craig with the dunk, excuse me. Bismack has been open so much in the paint. I just assumed it was him. It was not. It was Torrey Craig. Andrew, I don't blame you. I don't blame you whatsoever. And that's a turnover for the Spurs. Fast break. And Torrey Craig with a monster win, with a monster hanging off the rim dunk. And it's a 20-point game. Blake Leslie with the ball. About 12 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Leslie's going to take off into the paint. Pull-up jumper. No good. He just can't buy a bucket. Totally hit the wall in his rookie season making shots. Suns will hold for the last shot of the half. Book way out in three-point land. Starts to drive into the paint. And we're going to have a whistle. That's going to go against San Antonio. Phoenix had no fouls called against him this quarter. 0! That was a forced one on the Spurs. Neither team in the bonus, which I like to see, but weird, no fouls whatsoever on Phoenix. Well, little home court advantage, as they call it. Oh, do we have 2 free throws? Well, shoot. Book at the line for 2. Never mind. Made the first one. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. Second free throw for Devin Booker. That one's good. We're getting into Wesley Leslie with the half-court three. And Wesley will miss. Well, that's a 21-point game. Yeah. We got it to 9 midway through the third quarter. And then Phoenix woke up and has been awake since. They are angry at us. Not looking good for the Spurs. I'll probably stick around for a little bit of the fourth quarter, but if they extend their lead a little bit more, I'll probably call it a night as it is late. Veronica, we're used to it. Actually, I see people are already checking out. We're down to, wow, 26 viewers. Well, I guess one bonus I could say this year is the Spurs have one of their worst seasons ever. I've had my worst year ever on YouTube since starting the sports channel. That's not something to brag about, but the team I cover the most, people don't care. Casual fans don't care. The hardcores care. I'm desensitized by the losing. Friends is a great show, by the way, Andrew. It's my favorite TV show of all time. Number 1 is Friends, 2 is Cheers. I'm not sure. Number 3 may be The Walking Dead. I did watch all 11 seasons, for better or for worse, and there was definitely some worse in there. I don't know. The lottery results are sometime in May, David, and I do want to go live for that because that's the biggest moment if you're a San Antonio Spurs fan, possibly of one of the biggest moments of the year. because that'll decide whether we're drafting a Victor Wembanyama or a Scoot Henderson, or if we're just all crying because we're drafting like 6. The Spurs fan base is they've lost. I don't say they've lost fans, but I just think fans have moved on to something else, whatever it may be. I have heard of The Last of Us. I have not seen any of it. Is it on Amazon? No, it's not on Amazon. Is it on Netflix? Netflix? HBO? It's on a channel I don't get. I know that. All right, David. That sounds good. I might have to be drinking that night. I enjoyed watching the Spurs game this year, watching players develop and spoil. Well, yes, we have been spoiled. Watching the players develop has been fun, but watching them get blown out, that I don't like. I never will. Ridges can't put that bad juju. Oh, what? I'm saying we're drafting first. Damn it. How's that? HBO. Okay. I don't have HBO. I had HBO whatever the app was called. HBO Max. I had that for a month a couple years ago. That was enough. All right, so Last of Us, don't believe the hype. Okay. KBD with the steal, drives, and gets rejected from behind. That might be a goaltend. This actually has been a pretty fast game when you factor in the game started at 10, and we're already in the fourth quarter. It's actually that's average. 11:45. Yeah, we're about average. It was just whatever. Fair enough. Suns ball. Up by 19. Chris Paul pull-up jumper is good. He's been very accurate tonight as the Suns are about to crack 100. D. Mitch went for 43 tonight with the Cavs. Earlier this year, I believe he went for 71. Do we have 2 players go for 71 this year? Brandon for 3. All right, down to 18. Branham's had a few huge shots this game. 99-81. Chris Paul bringing up for the Phoenix Suns. Had a tired look on his face. KD pull-up jumper. No good. My Yankees didn't win tonight, Rico. They look bad. No offense whatsoever. I think we're going to have a foul on the Phoenix Suns. Maybe on Chris Paul. Is there a storyline or something else you're interested in during this? Ridges? Trey Jones going to be at the line for 2. Not really. I don't want to see the Lakers go far in the playoffs. I don't like their whole build a super team concept. Just not a fan. So that'd be a storyline I'd like to see as they get bumped immediately if they make the play-in. Carlos Jeter, you are up late, my friend. Good evening to you. Other storyline, there's really nothing. I'd like to see the Celtics play the Hawks in the playoffs so I could have Derek White versus DeJounte Murray, and that would be fun to call. Made both free throws, 99-83. Spurs keep teasing, I guess, a comeback here in the fourth quarter. And that's a turnover for Phoenix. Blake Wesley chases down the loose ball. Spurs can cut the lead to 14. KBD runner in the paint. Good. And he did cut the lead to 14. I don't know what to make of this Spurs team tonight. Every time you think the game is over, they start going on a run. They were down by 27 at one point. I hear you, man. I've had a busy week myself. Not over yet. Torrey Craig for 3, no good. Spurs ball. Wesley will sprint up the court with the ball again. Gets it to Trey Jones. Jones drives into the paint. Run right back out of the paint. Gets it to Brandon for 3. Ooh, that corner 3 was not pretty. Well, pretty bad. 99-85. Greg drives in the paint. Layup, good. Back to 16. Spurs ball. Brandon fakes a 3. Brandon is running around with the ball. Finally gets to Blake Wesley. Wesley into the paint. Throws up the layup. Gets blocked again. What I tell you guys early in the game? That Blake Wesley gets blocked a lot in the paint. He's been blocked like 3 or 4 times tonight. And that kid needs to work on that. It's not the college game. Now KBD gets blocked. Spurs just get rejected left and right. You just said Bismack has 4 blocks tonight. Wide open 3 for the Suns. No good. Long rebound goes to Kevin Durant. And Durant will get it to Biz. Biz. Offense will reset. Chris Paul, 3-point land. Paul loses the ball. He's going to have to shoot. Takes the shot. He got rim. And the Suns get the ball back. Craig drives into paint, gets the layup, and one! The worst thing that could have happened to the San Antonio Spurs. The Suns get the ball back, and they score and get an and one out of it. As we have a player down on the court, the Spurs do. Can't see who's down right now. Don Barlow, maybe? And Dominic Barlow is getting helped up. Looks like he's okay. Back to an 18-point game and a 3-point potential play for Phoenix. Barlow. Setting the bar low here. Doug McDermott got hurt. He's out for the game. Hurt his ankle. He might be out for the season, Carlos. There's only 3 games left, so he might be done for the year. And Dominic Barlow getting help to the locker room. Concussion, maybe? Queen Jedi, that's how I feel. Missed the free throw. Back of the barn. Oh, Frank, you got everybody getting shot for the Spurs. Got Mamu and Jang in there on the floor right now. Malcolm Brandon with the ball for the Spurs. Drives into the paint. Throws it up. And off the rim. No good. Suns trying to go fast break. Alley-oop. Dunk. Good. Torrey Craig with another dunk. Popping to call a timeout. 20-point game. I mean, team fought to cut it to 9, and well, the Suns are a darn good time. A good time. Good team. Jedi, I'm getting sleepy too myself. No pew pew ducky. Pew pew. Yeah, we need Tim Duncan out of retirement. Pronto. Certainly could use him, but he's like 45, so I'm not sure what he's going to really. He's going to be able to contribute anything to the team. David Robinson is what, pushing 60? I don't think he's coming out of retirement either. And Ova Fist, yeah, right now we are getting beat up a little bit. Down by 20. 8 minutes to go. I might wrap it up soon if the score continues the way it's going. And if we're down by 20 at the 5-minute mark, then I'll probably call it a night. Because I'm kind of sleepy myself. Long day at work, got up early. Got to get up early tomorrow, and we are getting kind of shellacked. What's the TSR Sports 50? That's my Twitter. Brian, my Twitter handle. Rich, I think Kawhi is better than Sean. Well, yeah, I mean, I like Sean Elliott. Sean Elliott's a 2-time All-Star. Kawhi Leonard is a 2-time NBA Finals MVP and a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. So, I mean, as much as I like Sean Elliott, Kawhi Leonard, say what you will about him, deserves to be in my all-time Spurs starting lineup. Duncan hasn't coached for a few years. I don't think he wants to deal with it. Duncan and Robinson will be better than this, even at their respective age. You think so? Maybe. But probably not. As much as I like David, a big part of his game was he was so athletically gifted. And he's many years away from those days, and the game has changed a lot since he played. A ton. You remember David retired 20 years ago. Gosh, it's been that long. 20 years for the Admiral. Sad day for me. He was my favorite player. And he was not the same player the last couple years of his career. Injuries, age, a little bit of everything caught up to him. My next live stream spur of the moment is going to be Thursday versus the Blazers. Yeah, yep, exactly. Veronica nailed it. Duncan did one year and done as a coach. I think it was the 2020 season. I don't remember. Crud. It was the year Kobe passed away. I do know that because in the Kobe video I did with the Spurs reaction, Duncan was on the bench when he passed away, and Kobe passed in 2020. So I guess it would be the 2020 season. Spurs miss. Suns ball. 105-85. Under 8 minutes to go in the game. The game. Kevin Durant tries to get it to Craig in the paint. Craig loses the ball. Spurs trying to get it up the court quickly. Get it to Brandon. Brandon gets blocked. And he's going to go to the line for two. 2 shots. Man, I am tired. I don't know you guys. I'm feeling it. Now, I know a lot of you guys are watching or hanging out from Texas, so at least it's only 10:55 where you are, but it's about midnight where I am, and I know some of you it might even be later. Brandon, first free throw, good. 105-86. It's a 19-point lead now. The problem is there's only 7.5 minutes to go. Makes them both. 18-point game. Yep, just a 20-point lead. Chris Paul, pull-up jumper from the free throw line, good. He's just been money all night. Pretty much automatic from anywhere he shoots tonight. Trey Jones with the ball in the paint, gets to Malachi Brandon. Brandon, pull-up jumper, good. Malachi trying to bring the Spurs back here late in the fourth quarter, a.k.a. late end of the game. Kevin Durant, three-point land. Gets it over to the Biz. The Biz, little turnaround jump hook, good. Busy. Getting busy. Only 9 p.m. in Cali. Sly Fox, yeah, you're lucky. That's one nice thing for you guys is these games are early. 3-point attempt by, I don't know if that was, who that was. I don't know if that was Malachi or not. It is Suns ball. The ball's going to go out of bounds and stay with Phoenix. 6.5 minutes to go. Who's having a housewarming party? I'm not. Also been living in my house for 5 years. 5 years next month. Woo-hoo, living in my house. Yay. Suns ball. Sun ball. Kevin Durant gets fouled, and I think he's going to go to the line for 2. 2 shots for Kevin Durant. Foul on Gorgie Zhang. Zhang it. Hey, Sean Robinson. Good evening. How are you doing, my friend? Hopefully you've been well. Kevin Durant only with 15 points tonight. He's at the line. Misses the first free throw. Pop looking stoic as usual over on the bench. Just a blank expression on his face. I didn't change his name. I called him by the correct name. Durant makes a second free throw. I've been good. Been doing good. It is Spurs ball down by 21. You having a party Friday night, Jedi? KPD out in 3-point land, 6 on the shot clock, drives, loses the ball out of bounds. And that's going to be a turnover for the Spurs. That's right, Carlos. Mr. Carlos Derek Jeter. Six minutes to go. Kevin Durant going to bring it up for the Phoenix Suns. 14 on the shot clock. Over to Chris Paul. Paul back to Durant. Durant back to Paul. Paul had a chance for a 3. It's going to take a long 2 instead. Nope. One of his few misses for the night. I don't know why they're in the game. Devontae Graham for 3. Air ball. And the fans letting Devontae Graham have it as they should. the air ball chance. 110-89. Whoop. They took a point away from the Spurs. Took a 3 away? I don't know. And we're going to have a foul in the paint. I think it's going to go against Gorgie Zhang. Yes, Selena is here. Looking good as usual. Miss Gomez doing her thing. We have a timeout? What's going on? Nope. Phoenix ball. 14 on the shot clock. Let's sort of like, whoops, I didn't want to do that. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Kevin Durant with the ball into the paint. Throws it up. Throws up a brick. Suns get the ball back. Book. He can't hit the shot. And Champagny with the rebound. And 5 minutes remaining. Wemby on his way to the Spurs. Oh, okay, Jedi. I did do a draft video with the Spurs drafting Wemby about a week ago. Jank, pull-up jumper, good. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. I don't know why I'm still here. It's midnight and this game is it's almost 20 points, but I'm still here. Book wide open for 3, takes the shot. Nope. Champagny with the rebound. This Chuck Norris gif is from, I think it's from the movie Silent Rage from the early 80s. And Devontae Graham he took one in the jubblies because he's writhing in pain. Definitely not Walker, Texas Ranger. I think it's a movie called Silent Rage. I don't know. We have a timeout, and I think I'm going to call it a night. It is past midnight. The Spurs are down by 19. The game is, for all intents and purposes, over. I don't see us coming back in the last 4 minutes. If we do, then I'll feel like a schmuck, but I think I'm going to wrap it up. I will be back till Thursday night for the Spurs and Blazers at 8 o'clock, so hopefully we can have a better game, and we'll see what happens. But I'm losing my voice, so yeah, Devontae got hit in the grams. Right in the graham crackers, and he's down. So hopefully he'll be okay. Hopefully nothing's crushed too bad. But yes, he is in a lot of pain. My friends, I'm going to wrap it up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so on the way out. It does help the channel. Fast food, fun, nutritious, and delicious. But I am tired, and I should just probably get to bed. So that's all I got, my friends. Thank you all to the true Spurs fans that were here tonight. You know who you are. And that's all I got. Until next time, what you gonna do when TSR Sports runs wild on you? Go Spurs, go!